Mm. Hey, what is going on, folks? It is your host, Yaboyrocklee. We're jumping at you guys with some more Warhammer. We got. Oh, I'm in the wrong video. We're jumping into why Sanguinius is an absolute beast. At the time of this recording, we just did the homie Rebute Gilliam, covering virtually the same topic. Here's a ranking of my Primarchs right now. We got Rebute Gilliam, Corvus Corax, Conrad Kurz, Fulgrim, Lorgar, Aurelian, top five. Lorgar and Aurelian, I just want to especially say, I like him because of the word bearers. That religious zealot thing really gets me hype, so I like that. I like Fulgrim because this dude, he just keeps kind of coming back and being an annoying dick. You know what I mean? It actually just keeps coming back and annoys the loyalists, and I like that. Conrad Kurz, this man is a ruthless Batman, basically. And then we have Conrad Corax, who was like not as bad as Chorus and a loyalist, so I just like that. I just found out that he is I had in my notes that he was a master of stealth, but I didn't know he actually goes invisible. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. So, and then Rebute Gilliam, of course, is holding it down for number one. Anyways, let's jump into the video. If you have videos to recommend, use my pinned comment. That's where I check. I also have a Patreon, and my Patreon is actually free to join to suggest content and just interact with the chat rooms. But we do have a $1 tier. It'd be nice if you guys want to show some support. Let's jump into it.
Some are just more equal than others. The same rings. G'day guys and gal. Everyone is equal. Some are just more equal than others. The same rings true for the Primarchs. In theory, each Primarch was made with the same.
And everyone is equal, but some of us are just more equal than others. God damn it. Joe, he says this stuff without a smile on his face or nothing. So I'm like, yo, mad funny.
Potential and capacity for greatness. The Emperor didn't like wank extra hard into one tube compared to another. As far as I'm aware, I wasn't there when he did it. However, theory rarely matches reality, as we can clearly see that no, the Primarchs are not all equal in power, magnificence, and potential. Put Lorgar and Vulcan in a boxing ring and watch that uppity little priest get some BBC. However, above all of his brothers, even the Lion and Horus stand Sanguinius. A near perfect being with unbreakable will, infinite tenacity, and an extremely impressive body count. By the Siege of Terra, he was a league above the rest of his brothers, only Horus matching him, and that was because Horus had received like 500 tons of warp tren injected straight into his scrotum. Before we get started, Christmas is nearly here, and now is the time to buy gifts for yourself or friends and family. So why not get them some majorkill Christmas merch? I've been brainstorming this drop for months, and I couldn't be happier with how it's come out. First, we have the majorkill desk pad, a large, high-quality pad that will make you smile whenever you lift your keyboard up. Then there is the majorkill dice, a 20-pack for all your tabletop hobbyist needs out there. Then, the magnum opus, the majorkill Christmas bundle, which comes with stubby holders, stickers, a protein shaker, a majorkill stocking, and this iconic Christmas hat, which it's so good. Imagine just like putting this on your dad's head and not telling him what it says, as the whole family loses their shit. Unlike pretty much any other YouTuber merch you'll buy this Christmas, I haven't put some stupidly high price tag on these. You are paying around half of the dice as you would from GW, the desk pad is on the cheaper side despite the quality and size, whilst the profit margins on the bundle are pretty bad because I insisted on spending extra to get the hat professionally embroidered. It's more about me sharing something with you guys that I think is pretty funny. This drop is now live and the stock is limited, so get it now and you'll have it in time for Chrissy. Today we'll go over the might of Sanguinius, focusing more so on his highlights and feats of power rather than just retelling his lore. I'll also do my best to explain why he's a league above his brothers, since he theoretically should be equal to them. Final note, you like the thumbnail artwork? I had that commissioned by my favorite Warhammer artist just for this video. It shows off arguably Sanguinius' most badass moment from the lore. Artist has asked to remain anonymous, but that doesn't mean we can't enjoy it ourselves. Let's get into it.
Why would you be anonymous? That is great.
There are two things I want to address before we delve into Sangi's in-lore highlights. The first is the people who dislike Sanguinius because they see him as this infallible Mary Sue, who is able to beat everyone and do everything and everyone loves him. And I get that if you don't know shit about the actual lore. Sure,
Yeah,
on the
all right.
surface, Sanguinius was a universally admired warrior who always seemed to have the best takes and be perfect. But the dude had serious anger management issues, to a point where Khorne actually wanted Sanguinius over Angron. His legion also had the Red
That's
Thirst,
epic,
which
actually.
meant that his sons really wanted to rip open their allies and enemies alike and drink their blood and eat their flesh.
Says
Sanguinius
a
was one
lot.
of the only Primarchs, alongside Magnus, that had to murder his own sons due to their gene flaw. He was also
Goddamn.
deeply insecure about his soul and morals. He wanted to be good, but felt a darkness within him. He actually despised his wings at times, as he saw them as signs of mutation and corruption. So him being perfect and trying his best was his attempt at overcoming an inner darkness that threatened to turn him into an avatar of death and destruction. A very nuanced, flawed character when you go deeper than face value.
Yeah, that
the
is
second
actually
thing I
pretty
want to
deep.
address is why Sanguinius ended up being so powerful compared to his brothers. All the Primarchs had obscene potential, some just never reached it as they fought against their own nature. Corvus Corax embraced his inner power and can now shapeshift into a demonic raven demigod monster that was able to easily kick the living shit out of a demon prince Lorgar. Guilliman totally embraced—
Oh, so to be clear, when Corbin transforms, that is not chaos. I think I missed it. No one really said anything to me. That's his inner power.
Some just
Oh.
never reached it as they fought against their own nature. Corvus Corax embraced his inner power and can now
Inner
shapeshift
power.
into a demonic raven demigod.
Because the fact that he says demonic raven demigod, it always makes me feel like he's fallen to chaos. But I do know that they use chaos to even create the Primarchs. That's my understanding as well, right? That's part of it, not 100%, but it seemed like they used chaos to do it in part.
That was able to easily kick the living shit out of a demon prince Lorgar.
And he was fighting
Guilliman
Demon
totally
Prince
embraced his
Lorgar.
commanding and logistical skills, allowing him to run and greatly improve the Imperium, doing the job of 5 Primarchs at once during his Indomitus Crusade. Other Primarchs, like Angron, had their purpose twisted and were not able to grow. All the Primarchs who became demons have lost their ability to reach their full potential, instead side-grading to become a pretty one-dimensional raid boss. Sanguinius completely and utterly embraced what he was during the Siege of Terra. No more doubt, no more restraint, no more insecurity. He became the Angel of Death he was born to be, using his foresight, flight, and unleashed power to become a god of war, literally saving the loyalist forces almost single-handedly. His embrace of this power is why he ascended beyond his brothers. Another reason, which is a bit more on the theory side of things, is that instead of the Emperor putting one warp god into Sanguinius, like he did with the other Primarchs, he actually put in 2, both the Angel of Light and Darkness. It's heavily implied that the Emperor created the Primarchs by taking minor gods from the warp and putting them into these vessels he had created.
Minor gods.
This would explain why the Primarchs are so diverse and volatile. After all, wouldn't the Emperor want to make 20 Guillimans or Rogals if he could? It's already confirmed that the gods of Baal that are tied directly to the Blood Angels are 2 angels locked in combat. This perfectly mirrors Sanguinius, who had his light and darkness fighting for dominance over him. Perhaps having these 2 gods within him is what elevated him above his monogod brothers, although the side effects include the intense gene flaws within his sons.
I love this lore,
but a pretty
or
fucking
theory.
good one if you ask me.
Yeah, that's
okay, so now we
fire.
have some context as to why he was a league above the rest. Let's look at
Chaos
some of the
gods.
shit our glorious—
So the chaos gods are not obviously Nurgle, Khorne, Zeech. We weren't talking about that. We weren't talking about their energies. We were just talking about lesser gods that are part of the chaos. And it kind of reminds me like how the Eldars the Eldars had their gods, but I didn't know if their gods were part of chaos or part of the material realm or where their gods were. I think they are the material realm. I'm pretty sure the Elders' gods were of the material realm. Anyways, they're gone. And Slaanesh absorbed these homies, and she's in the chaos. So the chaos has these 4 main gods, and chaos has 4 lesser gods. But they were talking about angels here, like angels. So where do angels lay in the world of 40K? Because I thought all chaos was bad. But I just realized chaos is not the warp. You know, you think you understand something until you start talking out loud, and you talk your way out of stupidity. Because it's like, Lee, you watch 18 videos, and it's like, yeah. I know I'm not supposed to get that, but sometimes I get new information, and then when I compare it to what I thought I understood, it makes me get confused about what I thought I understood. So I'm just gonna stop talking before I stop. Nah. I gotta be honest. Why am I afraid to sound like an idiot? yo, where are these lesser gods coming from? Where are they? Where are they? You know what I mean? What's going on? That's the best way. I was like, how am I going to ask this question without sounding like an idiot, right? And that's the only way I could do it. Lesser gods versus chaos gods, 40K. You know what? There we go. Chaos gods represent primal emotions and corruptions, while lesser gods, the elder gods, are often associated with specific aspects of a race's culture and are not inherently corrupting. While both exist within the warp, so both of them exist within the warp, the chaos gods are more focused on the domination and destruction of the material universe, whereas lesser gods are more concerned with the well-being and preservation of their worshippers. So I was on the right track when I referred to elder gods as an example. So I remember someone talked about Christianity being present in this world, and the last Christian died against Horus. I think that's what they explained. So when people believed in angels and stuff like that, and as far as 40K is concerned, they exist as lesser gods. And then they just got beat out by more gods, more emerging gods. Also reminds me of Norse mythology, how there's Ragnarok, or the Titans got defeated by the Roman gods, and then demigods beat Greek gods, Zeus and the homies beat his father, Kronos, who beat his father, by the way, which is some other type of deity, right? So gods swallowing up other gods. This always exists in various lores. I wonder how that could or could not exist in Christianity. Is there any lore of the Christian gods, defeat? Actually, it happens all the time. Never mind.
Yes, Hawkboy did. I'll try to get these in order, but fuck it. Shit is so hyped that I'll be slapping down whatever hits my brain first. Sanguinius was a beast during the Great Crusade. Constant victories, 0 losses, his ability to fly straight into the heart of the enemy and wreck some tits was OP as hell.
Yep.
However, it was during the Horus Heresy that Sanguinius rose above his brothers. First was during the Battle of Cygnus Prime, where the now bulgy Hardus Chaos Horus sent Sanguinius to a demon world to die. Horus did this as he was scared to face Sanguinius and his blood angels in battle, so he wanted to get them wiped out in a demonic ambush. On that planet, Sanguinius fought and lost the Kabunda, widely considered to be the greatest demon of Khorne. However, after walking off a broken leg, Sanguinius came back for round 2, fucked Kabunda's shit up, then proceeded to beat a greater demon of Slaanesh to death as well, because, why not?
Why
It's
not?
Just demons that Sanguinius has clapped. Sanguinius once faced down an
That's so
Warlock
cool.
Titan, the most powerful
Elder
Eldar
Warlock
Titan there
Titan.
is, and he ripped its fucking head off with his bare hands. The Titan was able to shoot Sanguinius with a Titan Psychic Lance, a shot that is basically a guaranteed one-hit kill on anything. Sanguinius just kind of walked it off. Not to stop there, one of Sanguinius' most badass scenes is him preparing to jump out of a ship to 1v1 an Emperor-class Titan, the largest and greatest Titan in the galaxy. His first captain is like, holy fuck dad, no, you are only worth like 500 points at most. The Emperor-class Titan would be 10,000 points plus. And Sanguinius looked his son in the eye and said, hold my fucking beer, before jumping out of the ship and literally 1v1ing an Emperor-class Titan. As he did so, it said his size grew to encompass the heavens. The traders saw him as an avatar of their death and destruction. All who looked upon him instantly regretted their life decisions and accepted that today is likely the day that they would die. It was very badass. The reason why Sanguinius happily took on a Titan that theoretically should dumpster him, after all a mere Warhound Titan nearly killed both Lorgar and Angron, is because of his foresight. He knew he wasn't going to die that day, so it didn't matter how much danger he put himself in.
True.
He was like Neo from the Matrix, beginning to believe. You know how I said that Sanguinius had some serious anger management issues? Well, no other instance shows this off quite like Sanguinius' fight against the legendary demon Madial, a demon of chaos undivided, which is already very rare. This demon had been able to hold off Gilliman and the Lion. Madial had also killed billions, twisted Sanguinius' thoughts and emotions, and lured Sanguinius into a trap. Surrounded by demons, pinned down, and with no hope, Sanguinius cracked the mother of all shits. He went full berserker mode from Goblin Slayer, literally gaining glowing red eyes and setting himself on holy fire. Even just powering up destroyed most of the demons around him, before he then jumped on Madial's ass and beat the shit out of the Demon Lord. This was arguably the strongest demon in the entire heresy, and our boy went to fucking town. The thing about Sanguinius is due due to his inner darkness and insecurity, he was actually really vulnerable to corruption, almost falling to Chaos on Cygnus Prime as Chaos exploited his desire to save his sons from their own gene flaws. Time and time again, they would show him false visions, empty promises, and all
The
kinds
false
of mind
visions.
fuck. Instead of becoming more doubtful and insecure, Sanguinius learned from these and continually grew from each attack on his soul. Honestly, if the demons had never tried to corrupt Sanguinius, he wouldn't have become this absolute juggernaut. Pressure makes diamonds, and Sanguinius is the chief example of this. Having torn his way across the galaxy and reaching Terra in time for its defense, Sanguinius' most legendary moments would become immortalized in the annals of history. See, he hadn't really fought against his traitor Primarch brothers much during the heresy. They avoided him like the plague, with even Conrad not wanting to fight him when they encountered each other. He kicked massive amounts of Titan and demonic ass, but the real test comes from Primarch vs Primarch battles. During the Siege of Terra, as the palace's defenses began to crumble, Sanguinius flew to and stood in front of the Eternity Gate, the last line of defense before the traitors would reach the Emperor sitting on his golden throne and win the heresy. Against all odds, Sanguinius stood at that gate and held his fucking ground.
That's what
Millions
that picture
of demons,
represents.
Traitor Astartes, and heretics charged, and millions died. Kabunda, the legendary greater demon who had beaten Sanguinius before, charged forth, and Sanguinius massacred him. Then mere moments later, like an unholy comet that destroyed the dinosaurs, Angron soared from the sky, screaming his challenge to Sanguinius. Sanguinius met his demonic brother in combat, and the two were locked in a fight to the death. At this point, Angron was so juiced up on power that he was considered the greatest asset the traitor legions had. His kill count was in the millions. He was also unkillable, literally regenerating from any wound.
How powerful you gotta be to have a kill count in the millions? Is it that you've been around that long? Where did you find the time to kill 1 million people? How many people you take out a blow? It's not that I'm questioning this man's power, but do you know how long it would take? Like, just think about it. Let's think about if someone gave you a knife right now and told you to go kill 1 million unarmed people and none of them fought back, and how long that would take you. Hey Alexa, how long does it take to count to 1 million? Wait, Alexa, set the volume to 10. How many hours would it take to count to 1 million? Hey, Alexa, how many hours would it take to count to 1 million?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Alexa, how many hours would it take to get to 1 million? Counting.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Oh, she doesn't know. She doesn't know. How many hours would it take to count to 1 million? 278 hours. So it's doable, but like I just want you to understand the feat and the scale of how much effort goes in, all right, to taking out 1 million people, okay, divided by 11 days. It would take you 11 days to kill 1 people if they were just all there and you did one every second. But realistically, it's going to be every 3 seconds, which means it's going to take you 33 days. If it took you 3 seconds, it's going to take you 2 seconds. And they're just lined up. But you gotta imagine people are running from him. They're putting up resistance. It has to take multiple blows. Like I had to stop the video to really put this into context. Angron, you've killed millions, son. Millions. I hope that include like a death rate that just wiped out like 10,000 or 20,000 at a time. It's not really that I hope. I'm just like, how did you find time to do this, Sam?
Even got shot by 1 million rockets at once and was completely atomized.
No, majorkill. Yo, majorkill just talking stuff, bro. I don't believe him anymore. I do not believe majorkill anymore. They should, after me questioning, like, do you know how big 1 million is? He goes, they shot 1 million rockets at him. Do you know how much 1 million rockets are? Do you know who in the world has 1 million rockets? Probably the Eldar. They have those big, massive ships that are the size of continents. I can imagine them shooting 1 million rockets at somebody. That's hilarious, man. I don't know why I overthought it,
Generate
but
from it. So as the brothers fought, every mortal blow that Sanguinius landed would heal. Heart shots, head shots, nothing was working. All the while, Sanguinius was being wounded and worn down, not recovering fast enough. Eventually, Sanguinius was like, "No more Mr. Nice Guy," and he allowed Angron to impale him with his sword, bringing Sanguinius close enough to rip Angron's fucking butcher's nails out, momentarily making Angron lucid and sane before the agony kicked in and the demon was banished back to hell. A wounded but very victorious Sanguinius looked on, having just back-to-back beaten two of Chaos's greatest champions.
Crazy
Sanguinius'
work.
next fight would be his last. Wounded, exhausted, with damaged gear, he would face down a fresh, heavily empowered Horus, who according to current lore would go on to kill the Angel. There is, however, a fan theory which I love, that says that in reality, Sanguinius would fall to the Black Rage while fighting Horus, triggering his own sons to do so as well. This would result in Sanguinius killing Horus and then mortally wounding the reluctant Emperor, who did not want to kill Sangi. Realizing that if the Black Rage Sanguinius was seen by the Imperium as the one who dealt the Emperor his mortal blow, this would destroy the Imperium. Hence, the Emperor kills Sanguinius, then obliterates Horus's soul so that the Chaos Gods wouldn't know the truth of what happened. This fills in a number of plot holes, such as why the Emperor let the obviously super evil Horus beat the shit out of him. It also adds a tragic, unexpected twist, while at the same time cementing Sanguinius' place as the most powerful Primarch to ever live. We haven't gotten to the final Siege of Terra
I like
yet,
that.
which will detail the fight between Sanguinius and Horus. So
Oh,
until we
it's
get
not
it, all we can
out.
do is circle jerk over how much of a beast Sanguinius is. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then
I didn't
buy
know
the Majorkill
that.
Christmas merch. You won't regret it. Hit the subscribe button and hit the real subscribe button for more beastly content. Join the Discord for more memes and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
I like that. Anyways, I thought it was a good video. I don't have too much to add. I was mind blown by the last part. I didn't know that this book hasn't come out yet. So folks are just speculating. And I like that theory about Sanguinius, turning dark basically in his final moments after everything that he's been against. That would be fire. He is a beast. So I see why he has so many dope fans, and I think it's well deserved. I sincerely think that. So I'm gonna get going because I want to check out some more videos. As you see, I have this long list of shows or things I want to watch, and I did 2 Primarch videos back to back. So I think we're going to end with, are orcs superior to humans? Because it's been a while since I covered an orc video. Thanks for watching, guys. Yo, until next time, I post my reactions early on my Patreon. If you want to leave me recommendations, use the pinned comment. I also have a Patreon. It's free to join, but we do have a $1 tier. It'll mean a lot if you want to support me. I'm out. As always, thanks for supporting this channel. If you don't know, we do have a Patreon, and it's free to join. You can stay updated, suggest content, or vote on polls. If you're interested in our uncut and early reactions to anime, K-drama, Western shows, and movie reactions, which include exclusive reactions not found on YouTube, you can join the upper tiers on Patreon, or you can stick with the edited content right here on YouTube. We got Yaboyrocklee reactions also in the description of this video. Until next time, I'm out.